Well, David, thank you very much for being with us today here. And I would like to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, let us know that what you do exactly.
Basically, I help folks with their purchases and or their sales, and making sure that everything is smooth. And there's lots of behind the scenes work that goes on. A lot of times they never even know about it, so that it just looks really, really easy for this transaction, whether you're on the buyer side or the seller side. That includes being, sometimes knowing about inspections and what to be looking for, like the mold inspections. It includes sometimes knowing who to call if we need potential quotes on repairs or remediation. It includes being a psychologist to the client because they go through these emotional roller coasters. So until I came across your company, I didn't, it just seemed like a no-brainer because if it's going to be automatically included, again, it's not necessarily that the client is going to worry about mold. They can worry about it or not worry about it, but at least they should know what they've got and what they're buying. You come across people that say, "Oh, I grew up in New England. Mold is like we eat this for breakfast." So okay, fine. We've got some, Kellogg's, mold and O's that are growing in that bathroom right there. No, the bottom line is, as long as they know what they're getting, and most people here in California, because we don't grow up with mold, would like to have something, to have that remediated, have it taken care of. And not just from a liability standpoint, but most of my clients that I work with become my friends, and the last thing I want is to put them into a home where they're going to get sick or have more expenses, because then I'm like, oh, well.
Wow. So if it's not required, then the consumer is just like, no, why should I spend another extra $400 or $500? Hence, as he just said, you just walked to the bank and you borrowed almost $700,000, $1 million to buy a condominium or a townhome in Orange County. You took $700,000 liability. Why would you not protect your investment?
It's like you're waiving your rights.
Yeah.
Why not protect that $700,000 and do a full inspection or your health?
I really think it's upon the real estate agent to set the expectations properly. When I sit down with a client, I'm letting them know that here's the expenses that you have to expect. You're going to have a deposit to put in. You're going to have inspections. You're probably going to have an appraisal. All these things are going to be, So I think if we are letting them know from the beginning, and all of a sudden we get into escrow and it's time for the inspection, we're not springing something on them, after they've just been beat up on price, for example. I told them weeks ago, you're going to have an inspection and there's going to be a cost for that. Even if you cancel the escrow because of something we found, the few $100s that you spent on that inspection is peace of mind, and it's part of your due diligence, and that's just part of buying a home.
I believe, as you just said, that it's the real estate agents, the brokers, real estate broker duty to inform the consumer. Sometimes they don't know what they don't know, and how can they go after what they don't know?
Exactly.
It's my job as a broker to let them know that, please, you borrowing this money, or even if it's your hard-earned cash, do a complete home inspection. Do not negate that to yourself, because if you go to mold remediation, it could be somewhere between $20,000 to $50,000 to remediate that house.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, peace of mind. I mean, why even bother doing an inspection if you're not going to do comprehensive? Get the correct truth about the home to know if you should go forward.
Your children are going to grow up in this home. You're going to sleep in this home. I heard the story earlier about the mold growing in the wall next to the master bedroom, and they're just breathing this stuff. So
yeah, you don't want to be in the dark on what you're buying. You would inspect anything else, a car. Why would you buy a home if it's infested with mold?
Is the mold always in the dark?
Yes, it is. It grows well there.
Well, very good. So no, I completely agree. And anybody that's seeing this, the takeaway is, do your due diligence and make sure that your clients know what their due diligence needs to be before you even find the house that that they're going to purchase. They need to have their expectations set properly on all things. I believe in our veterans and our active duty military, and if I have a buyer that's active duty military, I will pay for their inspection. during the
Great.
escrow.
Well, we actually
Yeah.
also give 10% off for
Well,
our
boom.
veterans as well,
Boom.
and military,
Wonderful.
and active duty, and teachers,
Yes.
and you know,
So you're
senior
saving me
citizens.
10% if I have an active duty
Yes.
client. already.
Absolutely, 10%, because without them, this country would not be
Yes,
the
they
country that it
deserve-
is. I wholeheartedly believe that we live in peace here because they are sacrificing their life.
You bet.
Mm-hmm.
So 10% off for all the men that have guns in their hands.
There you have it.
Call Dave now to get your home sold.
Because that's going to make you more money.